Hi. Welcome to our first celestial probe, and the Mercury general communication returned. We are happy to have you all here. Interstellar Observatory 7, our world and beyond. Come along with us.
First celestial probe. The Mercury general communication. What is Mercury to Earthlings other than another celestial body so far away it couldn't be of any significance to us in our lives, or could it? There are bodies further away that are definitely significant, like the Sun, whose magnitude has more girth and temperature a greater intensity. As everything dims to nothingness, the further separated by distance as many stars we see at night have spanned the distance from many light years away appear to comfort our perspective and remind us that there is something else out there from wherever beacon lights in midnight skies shine from. Well, sure, someone has tried before and others time and again, but in the futility of counting the stars we couldn't help but notice irregularities in what we initially thought were stars. As closer investigation, it was found that not all projected light but were reflecting it. We see the universe from our own unique perspective, and understanding the vastness of the universe, we consider ours as an only way of looking at the whole, when it is not. For all intents and purposes, consider this general information for those planning to plot a new course on the road of life toward a better understanding of the world we live in a universe from which we can't escape. Studying our world and beyond from #Interstellar Observatory 7 and attempting the mastery of astronomy, mythology, and astrology, we attempt to provide a clear understanding of all three disciplines. Mercury is the system's closest satellite of our Sun, and personified in a Roman god that translates to Hermes in Greek. Astronomy matriculates to mythology, and with both astrology is better understood.
The closest satellite of our Sun, Mercury, is also the smallest and fastest in the solar system. With no satellites of its own, Mercury stands alone between our Sun and the rest of the solar system's celestial bodies. It's composed of 70% iron, which is more than in any other planet in our system. A terrestrial planet, Mercury is the smallest recognized, whose diameter in about the breadth of the United States at close to 7.5 times 10 square kilometers, only 0.147% of the Earth's surface. The planet is made up of an inner core which is solid iron, where around it is its liquid mantle layer, and the crust, which is solid silicate, but on the surface an exosphere is its only atmosphere. It is like Earth, but unlike it, Mercury has no tectonic plates. The exosphere is made up of sodium, oxygen, helium, hydrogen, and even potassium. The much larger percentage of Mercury's iron core makes up 85% of the planet's radius to Earth's inner and outer cores, making up only 55%. The diameter of the planet is 4,880 kilometers, or 0.3829 times that of Earth's. The mass is 0.055 of Earth's, and density of a little over 5.4 grams per centimeter cubed. With the iron core's size cooling and gradually contracting over time, in the past 4.5 billion years, it has shrunk inward on itself by around 7.1 kilometers.
Shrinking in size, the planet travels fastest around the Sun, doing so in only around 88 Earth days, while its rotation about its poles does so slowly at about every 59 days. Orbiting at an average speed of just over 47 kilometers per second, the Earth does so slower at 29.7 of the same unit. With its aphelion just under 70 million kilometers and perihelion right above 46, the Sun's gravity drags Mercury's 330 trillion tons 24 million kilometers in tow. Mercury's proximity to the Sun helps its surface temperature reach an unbearable 800 degrees Fahrenheit, but falling to a negative 290 degrees of the same is more so due to its lack of an atmosphere as we consider ours. The planet's thin exosphere is stirred up by solar winds, but as Mercury rotates away from the Sun's intensity, warmer temperatures escape to outer space in the 28 days of darkness opposite the Sun's illumination. With a surface gravity at 3.7 meters per second squared to Earth's at 9.8, its escape velocity is 4.25 kilometers per second, which is 7.05 less than ours.
The planet was personified in a Roman god who corresponds to the Greek god Hermes. For many, a difficult time is had attempting to understand Roman religion and mythology with such a constant reminder that the Greeks triumphed in the Trojan War. Some may think or say, well, that's neither here nor there. We'll let the reader be the judge, as there was a wide array of gods and goddesses whose attitudes and personifications brought more attention to Greek mythology. Just as the English visit dinners, and those French do so to restaurants, some entrees in one won't be at the other, and vice versa. Diners use salt and pepper while restaurants provide an array of spices for cultured modernity. With a guaranteed intriguing culinary experience, a master chef's accomplishments are rewarded by the subtle roar of murmuring guests trying not to speak with their mouths full. Some could probably imagine cheeseburgers were steaks, if he were in a diner, but they could never experience it. That's somewhat the situation, as seldom do we hear the word diner, perhaps, because restaurant sounds like it tastes better, but that was the aim of those Roman who replaced names of Greek gods for those more amicable to Romance languages. Sure, we all love ourselves more than others and would prefer it if red things were supported with their tax dollars. Borrowed from Greeks, the story of Hermes was attributed to Mercury and so elevated him to one of the 12 members of the deiconsense at the pantheon Hermes. A messenger god, Mercury, who guided souls in their afterlife to Hades amongst other things, was known for trickery, commerce, travel, luck, boundary issues, and others. He is accredited for having made the first lyre, which he donated to Apollo's betterment. On the Aventine Hill in ancient Rome, the Temple of Mercury was perhaps the oldest, founded in 495 BC and still operating in the 3rd century AD. but by the 4th century it would have been closed by Constantine.
Our solar system's closest satellite to the Sun is personified the Roman god Mercury, known in Greek as Hermes, but as astronomy matriculates to mythology, astrology is better seen through both. Mercury is the fastest moving celestial body in the solar system, but the slowest to revolve on its axis. Made up of mostly iron and only a thin exosphere surrounding it. To research Mercury, do Hermes too.
That's all the information we have for you at this time on Mercury. We will see you back here Tuesday at 9:11 a.m. Thank you for your time and consideration.